Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira in the middleweight division. Now, we already know what happened. I mean, if you're watching this video, I assume you know what happened at UFC 276. Alex Pereira freaking starched Sean Strickland in the first round. And Adesanya did amazing. I mean, it was so cool to watch. One of the funnest fights I have ever seen against Jared Cannonier. So fun. I loved every minute of that fight. And he beat Jared Cannonier by unanimous decision. I'm assuming you know what happened at UFC 276. And I'm assuming you know what happened in their first fight and in their second fight. If you have not watched that first fight and if you've not watched the second fight, pause this video, pause the live stream, whatever. Go on to YouTube, search up Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya 1, Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya 2. Go watch both of those fights, then come back to this video. All right, you're back. All right, now for the prediction now, that was kickboxing. That was kickboxing. And if you watch those fights, the first one that they had with Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira went out there and he won it by a decision. Second time, he caught him on short notice and he knocked him out. That is with kickboxing gloves, not MMA gloves where every punch lands could freaking put your lights out. Kickboxing, you get hit with a big overhand right, you could go out, but chances are you'd rather be hit with a kickboxing glove than you would with an MMA glove, especially if it's from freaking Alex Pereira. This dude has so much freaking power and he's huge. The dude is huge. Anyone that does not know this, I encourage you, look up Alex Pereira's weight on fight night. He weighs in at 185 pounds. On fight night, the mad lad weighs near 220 pounds. Whereas Israel Adesanya, we go on to the Jan Blachowicz fight. On fight night, he only weighs around 200 pounds. His weight cut is only from 200 pounds to 185. It's only like a 15-pound cut. That's not including like everything that you're wearing, shitting, whatever the case may be. So the first factor, we're going to go into striking, we're going to go into grappling, kickboxing, power, speed, endurance, cardio, all that good stuff. But the first thing is first, is the freaking size. Pereira is so much bigger than Adesanya is. Adesanya is 200 pounds come fight night. If you look at what he weighed in at UFC 270 or whatever, 259 right there, he weighed in 200 pounds for that fight. He didn't cut any weight. He didn't gain any weight for the fight. That's what he walks around in, is 200 pounds. Pereira walks around 220, 230. The dude is huge. He's so much bigger than Israel Adesanya. Not to mention he's more powerful than Israel Adesanya. Not to mention he's more strong than Israel Adesanya. Not to mention, this is MMA gloves, not kickboxing gloves. Not to mention, he's beat him twice before. So, yeah, you can make an argument. This is MMA. It's not kickboxing. Maybe Adesanya can use some wrestling and grappling. You got to be shitting me, man. If you're going to use an argument on Adesanya to use wrestling and grappling in this fight, leave this video right now, because this is not going to be a grappling match. You know what the stories are going to say if Adesanya goes out there and attempts a takedown on Alex Pereira? It's not happening. There's going to be 0 takedowns landed from either guy here. 0. The only time we'll see the fight go to the ground is after Pereira knocks him out. That's literally it. There's no wrestling. There's no grappling. Pereira's more powerful. Pereira's stronger. Speed, technique, movement. Yeah, it'll all go Adesanya. But, dude, Pereira's eventually going to time that. He took a while to time the shot. That left hook on Sean Strickland. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and time a left hook on Adesanya again, because he's done it before. That's the time he knocked him out. I'm not saying he's going to time that same exact left hook and knock the out of Adesanya for a second time in MMA. I doubt that's going to happen. But what I am saying is Pereira is going to land so much more powerful shots here. He's got good movement himself. He's got good volume himself. I'm not saying he's going to out-volume Adesanya, but I'm saying the volume that Adesanya lands isn't going to be much to the head. It's not going to be much of jabs and overhands and right hooks and left hooks and things like that. The volume, as in if we look at the UFC statistics on this fight once it's over, and we look at how many strikes both guys are landing and where they're landing those strikes, it's going to be like Pedro Munoz and Sean O'Malley, whereas Adesanya is going to be landing like 80% to the legs, 10% to the body, and like 10% to the head. Whereas Pereira is going to probably land 50% to the head, 30% to the body, 20% to the legs. So that is the reason I'm going to go Pereira. That's the reason I'm going to go Alex Pereira to win this fight, is because I think the volume that Pereira is going to land is going to be more focused on the head of Adesanya. Because if Adesanya makes it his game plan to headhunt Alex Pereira, well, then he's going to get knocked out in this fight. Pereira is going to catch him as he's coming in, looking for the jab, looking for the right hook, and he's going to knock out Israel Adesanya. So the only game plan for Israel Adesanya to really make at that point is a point fighting, body kick, leg kicking, jabbing, and just keeping your right hand here. Keeping the right hand on the chin for that left hook. Defending that left hook is all this right hand is going to be used for in the fight. Jab, leg kick, body kick, whatever the case may be. Front kick, move, run. That is the game plan of Israel Adesanya. I don't think it's a good game plan, but I think if you don't do that game plan and you do a game plan like you did last time where you're trying to pressure Pereira, you're trying to land volume, trying to knock him out. You got knocked out last time. You lost a decision the time before. That game plan doesn't work. So you're going to have to use a point fighting game plan, which is not going to work either because on the judges' scorecards, they're going to see that Pereira is landing more strikes to the head. He's landing the harder strikes. And even though Adesanya is landing more strikes, so leg kicks, body kicks, front kicks, low tap jabs, even though he's landing all those strikes, the judges aren't going to give him the fight. The judging criteria does not go off of whoever lands more strikes. They go off of effective striking, as in, what are those strikes doing? Are those strikes cutting you? Are those strikes rocking you? Are those strikes damaging you? Like a right hook and a leg kick, a jab and a leg kick are so much different. They're going to value the strikes landed from Pereira way more than those little tap, jab, tap, leg kick, body kicks from Israel Adesanya in this fight. So I don't think we're going to see a knockout. I've seen many prediction channels say that Pereira is going to go out there. He's going to catch him with the left hook. It's going to be just like the kickboxing days. It's gonna be full circle. Alex Pereira with another left hook knockout. Or maybe he gets his back to the cage and knocks him out again. I've seen that a lot. Adesanya is not going to get knocked out in this fight. Promise me. I promise you, this fight's going to go to a decision. Alex Pereira will win 4 rounds out of 5. 1 round will go Adesanya because the judges are going to be stupid and they're going to be like, all right, volume worth more than power shots. 1 round maybe at the most will go Israel Adesanya. But I think the power of Alex Pereira will play into the judges a little bit more than the little tip-tappities from Israel Adesanya in this 5-round main events. Alex Pereira, Paul Watson, by unanimous decision. Winning this fight. And before we end the video, before you click off, make sure to like the video, of course. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to turn on notifications. But last thing is, we got to say, Israel Adesanya started at minus 200. People immediately started betting Alex Pereira. Then a bunch of people started betting on Israel Adesanya. Then a bunch of people started betting on Alex Pereira. Got him up to minus 150. And then boom, everyone started betting Adesanya again. Got him to minus 170. And he's at minus 160 right now. That is the little betting breakdown of Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Now it's at minus 160 and plus 140. That is the betting odds for Adesanya and Alex Pereira. So I guess I have the underdog, Alex Pereira, winning this fight by unanimous decision. Put your predictions down below.